popped off at me first saying my podcasting and business was 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I told him I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't give a who he ratted on.
Right.
That ain't my business. The people he ratted on, handle your business. My homies ain't with him. I'm not telling him what y'all can and can't do, right? He's under my protection. Now, if you pull up on him and I'm there, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure.
Wack 100 ain't just a snitch. He's allegedly the real reason some rappers stay untouched while others end up doing serious time. So if Wack's been the one cleaning up the mess, who's actually running the show behind the curtain? Is he guarding his artists or covering up something way darker? Cause if you've been tapped into the streets, you already know Wack 100's name been swirling in the mix for years. Sources tied to law enforcement say Wack been working with the feds, and that's how he always knows what's coming before it even hits the blogs. But Jay Prince didn't stop at calling him a snitch. He claimed Wack's the reason certain rappers are practically untouchable. That ain't just snitch energy, that's power on another level. And the first names connected to him? The Game, 6ix9ine, and Blueface. All three got close ties with Wack, and all three somehow keep escaping bullets, and both real ones and legal ones. So the real question ain't just, is Wack 100 a snitch? It's who's he protecting and what's he hiding them from? Let's look at the Game. That man been through scandals, lawsuits, and public drama that could have ended his whole career. One court case alone had him owing $7 million. But somehow, he didn't fold. Why? Because Wack wasn't just in his corner. He took control of the man's masters, handled his royalties, and moved like he owned the catalog. That's not just management, that's domination. If you wanted to sue the Game, you had to go through Wack. You wanted a cut of his music? Too late. Wack already got his slice. And when people said that judgment was out of line, Wack played it loud like he was protecting property, not an artist. So now you gotta ask, was that loyalty? Or was it leverage? Cause it's starting to look like Wack don't just manage rappers, he owns their survival rights. Then you got 6ix9ine, the rainbow-haired internet grenade. After he flipped in court, the rap world exiled him. Labels dropped him. OGs wouldn't dare touch him. Dude's name was toxic. He was done. But then what? Wack swoops in like it's Black Friday, picks him up off the clearance rack, rebuilds his contracts, gives him a mic on Clubhouse, and even drops gas money in his pocket when he was broke. That wasn't business. That was a resurrection. Wack didn't just save a career, he dragged a canceled man back into the game like none of it ever happened. No cosigns, no street love, just straight up media smoke and federal-style protection. And the craziest part, 6ix9ine still been moving through cities that should have ended him. And when Jay Prince called all this out before, Wack didn't back down. He doubled down and said, 6ix9ine my guy, and I'll protect him. That ain't loyalty. That's a chess piece getting played by somebody who knows way too much. And then there's Blueface, the walking, talking headline machine. Arrests, fights, court dates, baby mama drama, you name it. Dude's life is like a weekly episode of Disaster Diaries. But somehow, every time something goes down, guess who beats the news to the punch? Wack 100. Before footage even leaks, before charges stick, Wack already on Clubhouse saying, it's not that deep. How is he always 10 steps ahead? Ain't normal, ain't regular. Wack 100 don't react, he preps. Like he got the whole court calendar on his phone before it even drops. Every time Blueface lands in the hot seat, Wack already got a mic in hand, redirecting the smoke, spinning the story, and keeping headlines off the front page like a pro. But that ain't regular PR. That's a full-blown shield, with a built-in scanner, ready before the flames even spark. And when word spread that Wack was working with 6ix9ine, Blueface didn't flinch. No outrage, no shade, just pure silence. Why? Maybe because he knows who's really keeping the wolves off his back. Like, you could tell the energy changed. Real ones picked up on it quick. Things didn't just get messy. They started smelling federal, and it doesn't stop there. Word on the street? Wack had Birdman under his wing too, at least for a minute. Back in 2018, they teamed up to launch Cash Money West with Universal, pushing a massive $20 million investment into it. That wasn't just a handshake deal. That was heavy business, meant to put the West Coast on the map with new acts like Savi 3rd. But just as quick as it launched, it all fell apart. Fast. Word is, Wack and Birdman's partnership went from business to beef in record time. Wack hit Clubhouse and lost it, calling Birdman's artist BG a rat, right after BG touched down from a 14-year prison stretch. And instead of pulling Birdman aside like a real boss and settling it low-key, Wack claimed Birdman kept blowing up his phone, begging for a private call. Wack aired him out publicly. No filter, no respect, just pure fire for everyone to hear. And here's the wildest part. BG's own cellmate vouched for him, saying straight up he never snitched. But Wack didn't care. He didn't drop no paperwork, just loud claims, big accusations with no proof. And just like that, bridge burned. But what really stings? Suge Knight, yes, that Suge Knight, allegedly warned Birdman way back from behind bars. He told him straight, Wack moves funny, can't be trusted, said he was shady from the start. Looking back now, Suge might have been the only one who saw it coming. 'Cause one thing about Wack, he got a pattern. If he ain't tight with you no more, he flips. He'll throw your name out in the streets, toss snitch in the mix, and let the blogs and trolls run wild with it. Look at Big U. They were solid for years, tight like brothers. Now, Wack out here smearing him with everything from Rico whispers to old case rumors, like he's trying to rewrite the man's whole rep. And here's where it gets next level. Wack allegedly hit up Big U's wife right before the man's arrest and told her straight up he needs to leave. What? That's not just shade, that's chess on a whole other board. That whole message Wack sent sounded like a straight-up Fed alert, like he wasn't warning Big U out of concern. He was tipping him off with intel. And sure enough, not long after, Big U got hit with a federal case. So now folks are really asking, how does Wack always know what's about to go down? It's like he's always one step ahead of the streets and the system. That ain't normal. That's not luck. That's a line to someone on the inside. So naturally, people start asking, is Wack connected? Then came the Rayshawn Williams case, a high school football player who passed under suspicious conditions. The city was shook. No answers, no suspects. But out of nowhere, Wack jumps on Clubhouse and claims Big U's DNA was found under Rayshawn's fingernails. Wait, what? That ain't info you just guess. That's confidential, sealed investigation stuff. The kind of evidence only insiders or Fed agents would ever know about. Either someone told Wack, or Wack is the someone. And 2 days, just 2 days, after he let that slip, the Fed swooped in and picked Big U up. Come on now. That timing too perfect. That ain't just right place, right time. That's precision. That's someone pulling strings. Now imagine you're Big U. You about to turn yourself in, and someone you used to be cool with just went public and put your name on evidence that ain't even supposed to be out. What kind of dude does that? That's not beef. That's betrayal at the deepest level. And here's where it gets wild. Right before Big U turned himself in for that Rico case, he dropped a video straight up calling out Wack 100, accusing him of working with the FBI. He said what everybody else was already whispering in the streets. Wack's always on Clubhouse like it's his personal courtroom, running his mouth like he's judge, jury, and executioner. And every time he's live, he's throwing the snitch label like it's Halloween candy. Gunna, BG, even big-name industry folks with no charges. If they ain't in Wack's circle anymore, he's dragging their name through the dirt. He went at Gunna hard, claimed there was a 2-hour interrogation video that'd prove everything, said he was gonna leak it, had the internet buzzing. But guess what? Nothing dropped. No clip, no link, no proof. Just Wack doing what he always does. Talk big and deliver nothing. Same thing with BG, same thing with half the people he throws dirt on. He talks loud, points fingers, then disappears when it's time to show receipts. At this point, folks ain't just asking if Wack's connected. They're wondering how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Wack 100 don't need facts. He just needs a mic. That man stays throwing out accusations like confetti, and once the internet grabs it, boom, instant chaos. But when it comes time to prove anything, he ghosts. No paperwork, no footage, just vibes and loud talk. And it ain't just old enemies he's targeting. It's anyone who steps out of line. 1 minute you're his brother, the next you're a rat, a fraud, or part of some secret case he conveniently knows everything about. Like he got access to every sealed doc in the system. It's not just messy, it's suspicious. Real ones are starting to wonder if he's being used to stir the pot. Or worse, if he's the one passing names to the people behind the curtain. 'Cause look at the pattern, it's always the same. Wack builds you up, gets close, moves like he's protecting you. Then, boom! The moment things shift, he airing out your entire life on Clubhouse like it's court TV. And half the time, the folks he targets end up facing heat, real legal trouble. Not just blogs and rumors. Coincidence? Maybe. But at this point, that coincidence been happening too many times. Even folks who used to ride with Wack started backing off, quietly. 'Cause they see the game now. They peeped how he moves, that if you ain't useful to him no more, he'll flip that loyalty into leverage and let the streets eat you alive while he narrates it all online. Some even say he's setting traps, getting close, learning secrets, then weaponizing it when the friendship's over. That's not managing artists. That's managing threats, real puppet master moves. And the coldest part, every time someone claps back, Wack plays victim, like he's the one being attacked. He starts saying people don't appreciate real ones or can't handle truth. But let's be real, Wack ain't delivering truth. He's pushing his version of the story, one that always puts him in control and everyone else under fire. So now the streets are asking the only question that really matters: who's Wack really working for? 'Cause at this point, it ain't just about rap. It's about control, power, and access to info no regular manager should ever have. No proof, no documents, just pure noise. And that's the trick, ain't it? When Wack gets loud, everybody looks everywhere else. Misdirection, straight up smoke and mirrors. He throws out rat labels like candy, but the way he moves feels real familiar. Let's talk wiretaps. Real court transcripts from a 2022 federal case allegedly had Wack's name pop up multiple times. Members from the Rollin 60s were caught talking about putting hands on Wack, called him a problem, said he had too much heat, too many eyes on him, but somehow he still ain't been touched, not even scratched, legally or in the streets. And that right there got people thinking harder. How is he always in the middle of the fire, but never on the paperwork? He's always in the drama, but never ends up in cuffs? So folks started digging deeper. Let's rewind to 2005. Wack and his brother get popped in Texas with illegal guns. Both were convicted felons at the time. That should have been years behind bars. But instead, that case went quiet. No headlines, no trial, no big outcome. He just disappeared, moved between jails, in and out of federal facilities, then out, clean. No explanation. That's when the whispers started. People saying maybe that's the moment he flipped. Maybe that's when he cut his deal. 'Cause from that point on, Wack started moving different, real different, showed up in LA, rubbing shoulders with death row, getting close to Suge Knight, and rising fast, too fast. No setbacks, no slowdowns, no one ever laying a hand on him, even when he was in situations that would have buried most. When you stack the pieces, it paints a clear picture. Wack ain't just some manager. He's a fixer, a middleman, a pipeline between the streets and the system. He don't just guide artists, he protects them, not just from bad deals or blog drama, but from real legal heat. Game, 6999, Blueface, they all been in messes. But every time, Wack steps in, controls the story, rewrites the headlines, keeps them untouchable. Now that Jay Prince is calling it out, saying Wack's giving out Fed protection to certain rappers, it don't sound like a crazy theory anymore. It sounds like a blueprint. Just look at his top 3. The Game. Wack managed him through scandal after scandal, even protected him from paying out $7 million, locked down the royalties, and moved like he owned him. 6ix9ine. After the whole world turned on him, Wack rebuilt his contracts, gave him gas money, and pushed him all over Clubhouse. That wasn't a comeback. That was a relaunch. Blueface. Dude can't stay out of drama, but somehow every time, Wack's already spinning the story before it even hits TMZ. These ain't just clients, these are assets. Wack don't protect them out of love. He protects them because they serve a purpose. They make money, they create noise, and they give him power. But if you stop being useful, if you cross him like Gunna, BG, or Big U, he'll toss your name in the fire, call you a rat, and let the wolves eat you alive. No remorse. The internet sees it too. One commenter said it straight, Rat 100 is a professional storytelling snitch. Another wrote, you can tell he's with the feds. Bro talks way too much. Lesson learned? Stay far from loud mouths who always got secrets but never show proof. If Wack really is working with the feds, and if he's choosing who to shield and who to expose, then he ain't just a player in the industry. He's a power broker in the shadows, deciding who survives and who sinks. And if Jay Prince already cracked the door open, the only thing left to ask is, who's the real name Wack's still hiding? 'Cause when that name drops, it ain't just hip-hop that's gonna shake. The whole tower might come crashing down. If you thought this was wild, trust me, we're just getting started. Smash that subscribe button, tap the bell so you never miss a drop, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.